Assalamu alaikum students. How are you doing? Hope you are doing good. So welcome to class 9. Though class 9 has started, but because of COVID-19 we have to stay home to stay safe. Therefore, physical classes are not possible to be arranged, but online classes have been started, and I hope you are taking your online classes regularly. Are you? Good. So today we are going to start our English textbook, and the name of the English textbook is Secondary Stage English Book 1 for class 9, and this book has 8 units. So today we will start unit number 1, and the title of unit number 1 is Ethics, Character Building. So what is ethics? Ethics means morals, morality, principles, virtues, etc. And actually ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. Ethics क्या है? Ethics अखलाकी अक़दार हैं, और अखलाकी अक़दार किसी शख्स के रवैये या तर्ज़ अमल को मुनज़्ज़म करती हैं. And girls, ethics is also a branch of knowledge that deals with moral principles. This is also a branch of study. Alright girls. So the title of reading text today is The Last Sermon of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And as the title indicates, that this chapter is about the farewell Hajj of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this is about the farewell Hajj ceremony. What is a sermon? A sermon is a talk on a religious or moral subject. We can say that a sermon is an address or a speech or a talk or teachings. So this reading text comprises of mainly two parts. It has mainly two topics. The first part tells us about the introduction of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and also his prophethood and his struggle, and then his migration to Medina and the foundation of Islamic society in Medina. And the next part of the chapter, next part of the reading text tells us about the farewell pilgrimage and the last ceremony of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So let's start reading a chapter, but before reading, let's discuss the new words which we will read today, which we will come across during reading. So come to the board, come to the words list. So the first word which we have in the word list today is ancestors. Ancestors is noun and it means family members who were before the grandparents. Urdu meaning is Aba Ajdad, and its synonym is forefather and antonym is offspring. The next word in the list is migrate. Migrate is a word and it means to move from one place to go or live in another place. Urdu meaning is hijrat karna and its synonyms are emigrate, move or shift, and antonyms are remain and stay. The next word here is aggressive. Aggressive is an adjective and it means likely to attack. Urdu meaning is jarehana and synonyms are hostile and violent. We have antonym for aggressive, friendly. The next word here is hypocrites. Hypocrites is noun. It means people who pretend to be what they are not. Urdu meaning is munafiq and synonyms are pretender, impostor, and antonyms are loyal, saint, believer. The next word here is pagans. Pagans are, the word pagan is noun and it means people who do not believe in any of the main religions of the world. And Urdu meaning is kuffar ya ladin. and its synonym is atheist, and antonym is believer. The other word in the list is harmony. Harmony is also a noun, and it means understanding and accepting each other's thoughts and feelings. Urdu meaning is hum ahangi, and synonyms are uniformity, peace, orderliness, and its antonyms are hostility, hatred, enmity. The other word in the list is prohibited. Its first form is prohibit, and it means did not allow doing something. Its Urdu meaning is roka ya mana kiya, and its synonyms are ban and forbid. And if we see according to prohibited, we can say banned or forbidden, and its antonym is approve. The next word here is alliance. Alliance is a noun, and alliance means a kind of working relationship. In Urdu meaning we can say ittihad, and its synonyms are federation, union, and its antonym is disunion. The next word here is unified. Unified is also a verb, and its first form is unified, U-N-I-F-Y. So it means linked people together. Urdu meaning is muttahid karna, and its synonyms are united, combined, and its antonyms are disunite, split. And the last word today is consolidated. Consolidated is also a verb. Its first form is consolidate, and it means made strong or secure. Mustahkam karna ya mazboot banana, and its synonyms are unify, combine, unite, and its antonyms are disunite, weaken. So this is all about the word list today. Now come to the book. So let's start reading. The title of the reading text is The Last Sermon of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The last sermon of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, यानी नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का आखिरी खुतबा या खुतबतुल विदा. Actually, the Prophet of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala delivered a historical speech or khutbah on the 9th of Zulhijjah, 10 years after Hijrah. And this speech is called as Last Sermon of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ya Khutbatul Wida. So, come to the reading. Our Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the last of the prophets. Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was born in 571 AD at Makkah, Saudi Arabia, in a respected Quraysh family. The Quraysh used to worship idols and did not believe in one God. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked the Quraysh not to worship their false gods. He told them that he was the Prophet of Allah and asked them to accept Islam and to worship the one and only true God. Most of them refused to accept Islam. They thought that he was against their gods and their ancestors. They opposed this new faith so much that the Prophet ﷺ had to ask the believers to migrate to Yathrib, a city 320 km, 200 miles north of Makkah. So this paragraph gives a little introduction of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that he is the last prophet of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and we all believe in the finality of prophethood, in the finality of the prophethood of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he was born in 571 AD at Makkah, which is the city of Saudi Arabia, and he belonged to the noble family of Quraysh. So here you can see two letters A, D. So AD stands for Anno Domini, Anno Domini. And actually this indicates a calendar. Anno Domini are the Latin words which mean in the year of the Lord, and this refers specifically to the birth of Jesus Christ, to the birth of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. And AD is a kind of calendar which starts with the birth of Jesus Christ, with the birth of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. यानी AD एक कैलेंडर है जो कि हम रेगुलरली यूज़ करते हैं, और ये हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की पैदाइश के साथ शुरू होता है. सो एट दैट टाइम कुरैश वर्शिप्ड आइडल्स, and when the holy prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to worship one god, they became his enemy. They became so hostile to him, and they created a lot of trouble for the holy prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers, that they had to migrate to another city, Yathrib. तो हमारे प्यारे नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम नबियों में सबसे आखिरी हैं, और नबी करीम मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम 571 ईस्वी में मक्का सऊदी अरबिया के शहर कुरैश के मुअज़्ज़ज़ ख़ानदान में पैदा हुए. कुरैश बुतों की पूजा किया करते थे और एक खुदा पर ईमान नहीं रखते थे. तो नबी करीम मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कुरैश से कहा कि वो अपने झूठे खुदाओं की पूजा ना करें. उन्होंने उनको बताया कि वो अल्लाह के नबी हैं और उनसे इस्लाम कबूल करने और एक और सच्चे खुदा की इबादत करने के लिए कहा. तो इनमें से ज़्यादातर ने इस्लाम कबूल करने से इनकार कर दिया. वो समझते थे कि आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम उनके खुदाओं और आबाओ अजदाद के ख़िलाफ़ हैं. तो उन्होंने इस नए अक़ीदे की मुखालिफत की, और उन्होंने इस नए अक़ीदे की इतनी मुखालिफत की कि आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को मोमिनीन को यसरब हिजरत करने की हिदायत करनी पड़ी, जो मक्का के शुमाल में 320 किलोमीटर या 200 मील दूर एक शहर है. The second paragraph is, but with time, as many people started accepting his message and converting to Islam, the Quraysh became more aggressive and started making attempts on his life. Hence, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam got positive signals from Yathrib, he also decided to emigrate there. After 8 days' journey, he reached the outskirts of Yathrib on 28 June 622, but he did not enter the city directly. He stopped at a place called Quba, a place some miles from the main city, and built a mosque there. So, as the time passed, people started believing in new religion Islam, but Quraysh became more hostile to him, and even they tried to assassinate him, they tried to murder him. So the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also migrated to Yathrib, and after traveling 8 days, he reached the outskirts of Yathrib, the suburbs of Yathrib, and stayed at Quba, and he constructed a masjid there. तो लेकिन वक्त के साथ साथ बहुत से लोगों ने उनके पैगाम को कबूल करना और इस्लाम को इख्तियार करना शुरू कर दिया. तो कुरैश मज़ीद जारहाना होते चले गए और उनकी ज़िंदगी के दर पे हो गए. लिहाजा जब नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को यसरब से मस्बत इशारे मिले, तो उन्होंने भी वहाँ हिजरत का फ़ैसला कर लिया. और तकरीबन 8 दिन के सफ़र के बाद 28 जून 622 ईस्वी को यसरब के मज़ाफ़ात में पहुँचे, यसरब के आउटस्कर्ट्स में पहुँचे या सबर्ब्स में पहुँचे, मगर बराह रास्त शहर में दाखिल नहीं हुए, और उन्होंने कुबा के मुकाम पर क़याम किया, जो मरकज़ी शहर से कुछ मील दूर एक जगह है, और वहाँ एक मस्जिद तामीर फरमाई. On 2nd July 622, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered the city. This event is known as Hijra and marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. Yathrib was soon renamed Madinatun Nabi, literally city of the Prophet. But Nabi was soon dropped and its name became Medina, meaning the city. So after 4 days, on 2nd July 622 AD, the Holy Prophet ﷺ reached Yathrib, and this historical occasion is known as Hijrah. And we start the Islamic calendar, we start the Hijri calendar from this event. Yathrib then started to be called Madinatun Nabi, and later Nabi was dropped, shortened to Medina. तो 2 जुलाई 622 ईस्वी को हज़रत मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम शहर में दाखिल हुए, और ये वाक़या हिजरत कहलाता है। और यसरिब को जल्द ही मदीनतुन नबी का नाम दे दिया गया, मगर जिसके लफ्ज़ी मायने हैं नबी का शहर, मगर उन नबी जल्दी तर्क हो गया और इसका नाम मदीना हो गया, जिसके मायने हैं शहर। आप देख सकते हैं, यू कैन सी दैट 2 calendars have been discussed here. First one is AD calendar and the second one is Islamic calendar or Hijri calendar. And AD calendar starts with the birth of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, whereas Islamic calendar or Hijri calendar starts with the migration of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Yathrib. Right. At the time of arrival of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina, the city had 4 broad groups of people. There were the Muslims, including those who were from Medina and those who had emigrated from Mecca. Then there were hypocrites, that is, those who embraced Islam in name only, but actually were against it. Additionally, there were the people from Aus and Khazraj, who were still pagans but were likely to accept Islam. Finally, there were the Jews, who were huge in number and formed an important community there. So at that time there were 4 big groups of people. First one was Muslims, whether they were from Medina or migrated from Mecca. And second, there were hypocrites. And who are the hypocrites? Hypocrites are the people who just pretended to be Muslims, but actually they were not Muslims. And then there were the tribes of Aus and Khazraj, who were pagans, who were non-believers. And last, there were Jews, and the community of Jews was a large community, was an important community. तो नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की मदीना में आमद के वक्त शहर में 4 बड़े गिरोह थे। वहाँ मुस्लिम थे जिनका ताल्लुक़ मदीना से भी था, और वो मक्का से भी थे जो कि हिजरत करके आए थे, और फिर वहाँ मुनाफिकीन थे जिन्होंने फ़कत नाम का इस्लाम कबूल किया था, मगर दर हकीकत वो इसके ख़िलाफ़ थे। फिर वहाँ औस और खजरज के कबाइल थे, औस और खजरज के लोग थे जो अभी कुफ़ार थे, मगर मुमकिन था कि वो इस्लाम कबूल कर लें। और फिर आखिरी गिरोह वहाँ यहूदियों का था, आखिरी गिरोह वहाँ यहूदी थे जो बड़ी तादाद में थे और वहाँ एक अहम गिरोह बनाते थे। In order to ensure that all these people lived peacefully with each other, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam invited the leading personalities of all the communities to discuss this matter. He wanted the different groups to reach a formal agreement for harmony among the communities and for the security of the city of Medina. He succeeded in drawing up the Constitution of Medina, also known as the Charter of Medina, through which a kind of understanding was developed among all the communities living in Medina. It mentioned the rights and duties of the Muslims and the Jews of Medina, gave freedom of religion, and prohibited any alliance with the outside enemies. It also declared that any dispute would be referred to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for settlement. In later years, he unified the different Arab tribes under Islam, carried out social and religious reforms and administrative developments that further consolidated the Islamic community in Medina. So, the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was, of course, God-gifted genius, foresighted and wise. So he invited the important personalities of all the communities to make sure that there should be peace and uniformity among the people of Medina. And he drew the Charter of Medina, which developed an orderliness for all the communities in Medina. And this charter explained rights and duties for Muslims as well as for the Jews, and also set the rules and regulations for the betterment, for the benefit of the people of Medina. तो इस बात को यकीनी बनाने के लिए कि तमाम लोग एक दूसरे के साथ अमन से रहें, नबी करीम मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने तमाम गिरोहों की, तमाम कम्युनिटीज़ की अहम या सरकर्दा शख्सियात को इस मामले पर बातचीत करने के लिए मदऊ किया। वो चाहते थे कि कम्युनिटीज़ या बरादरियों के दरमियान हम आहंगी के लिए और मदीना शहर की हिफाजत के लिए तमाम गिरोह कोई रस्मी मुआहिदा कर लें, कोई फॉर्मल एग्रीमेंट कर लें। और वो मदीने का आइन बनाने में कामयाब हुए, वो मदीने का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाने में कामयाब हुए, जिसको चार्टर ऑफ मदीना या मीसाक़ मदीना कहा जाता है, और जिसके ज़रिए मदीने में रहने वाली बरादरियों के दरमियान एक किस्म की ज़हनी हम आहंगी पैदा हो गई। और इसने मदीना के मुसलमानों और यहूदियों के हुकूक़ और फ़राइज़ को वाज़े किया, मजहबी आज़ादी दी और शहर से बाहर दुश्मनों से इत्तेहाद करने से रोका। इस मिसाक ने वाज़े किया कि हर मसला हल के लिए नबी करीम मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के पास भेजा जाएगा, और अगले सालों में उन्होंने आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने मुख्तलिफ़ अरब क़बाइल को मुत्तहिद किया, इस्लाम के ज़ेर तहत मुत्तहिद किया, माशरती और मजहबी इस्लाहात की और इंतज़ामी तरक्की की, जिसने मदीने की इस्लामी कम्युनिटी को मजबूत बनाया, मुस्तहकम बनाया। So girls, we stop here today. Inshallah, in the next class, in the next clip, we will complete the reading text. Till then, take very good care of yourself and take your part, perform your duty to unite Muslim Ummah. Allah Hafiz.